How are you feeling today? I mean, and yesterday, any different than just the usual soreness after a game? Or?
No, I feel good. I mean, I took a couple hits for sure, but nothing more than a few bumps and bruises. I'm good. Nothing the ice can't help.
You mentioned that some of those were due to maybe holding onto the ball a little too long. Is that kind of something that's a point of emphasis this week?
I mean, I missed a couple check downs, but it wasn't too much of holding on to the ball. I get rid of it pretty good. I just think I need to go through my reads a little quicker. I think that'll help everything out.
Obviously not any moral victories, but did this game always feel better about the way you guys played? I mean, Coach Lee was maybe the best 60 minutes you guys have put out all season.
Yeah, I think everybody kept competing. I think you've seen, a couple times in the fourth quarter in our last few games that guys weren't too excited to go back out on the field, and I thought, kind of core group of guys on our team did a good job of rallying everybody together, and everybody was still excited to play some football in the fourth quarter.
Are you getting to feel more comfortable in the offense? I know you missed a lot of time in the spring, and then now you're getting game action. Is that helping accelerate your growth process?
Yeah, no, it definitely helps accelerate it, especially with all the reps I get in practice now. I take the first team reps, so that's a lot more than the backups role. So, yeah, these last couple of weeks have been great in my growing as a quarterback.
Has it helped to are you learning to hit the checkdowns and where to look and all that? Has that been the hardest part for you?
The hardest part for me is I've always been able to, even if my first read isn't open, just kind of been able to throw a guy open. And I mean, that works out some of the time, but there's a better possibility of completing a ball, of throwing to a guy who's for sure open, even if that is 10 yards shorter or 15 yards shorter, whatever that is.
What type of challenges does Oregon State's defense present, and how much do you know about them?
Oregon State's really physical. They're big up front, they're big in the linebacking core, they're big on the back end. They're big Pac-12 defense. They'll come around, they'll hit you. They're great at stopping the run, so I mean, we're going to have to go out there and throw the ball all over them and hopefully put up some points.
You were a guy who was initially a little bit critical about the Seattle game. What were your thoughts on the environment and kind of WSU showing?
I mean, I didn't want to sound critical of it. I love going over to the West Side. I think the West Side's beautiful. I just thought for a home game that it should be at Martin, but that was an unreal atmosphere, and I've never played in a stadium that loud. I thought that was louder than Austin last year, so that was the greatest environment I've played in so far. So that was great.
What's the attitude been like last couple of days coming off of Saturday night's game?
Attitude's been good. I mean, definitely like you guys said, no moral victories, but we competed with the number 2 team in the nation. We take away some dumb mistakes here and there, and that helps out. I think everybody's ready to get to practice tomorrow and have a good week and get ready for Oregon State.
What do you think this team can pull away from the Oregon game moving forward for some of your future opponents?
I mean, that we can compete with anybody in the nation, that we're good enough to put up points on anybody in the nation. I mean, that we can go out there and play with anybody in the conference. I think when this team plays with confidence, we're a darn good group. When this team, a couple things go wrong, a couple drop balls, people start to hang their heads. We're just like any other team. But I mean, when we're playing with confidence, we're pretty tough to beat.
You were pretty animated on the field at times when the team was making some mistakes. What frustrated you the most?
I don't know. I play with my emotions on my sleeve. That's just kind of how I've always been. But I mean, just kind of the stupid penalties was what was getting to me, and I need to do a better job of keeping some of my emotions in. But that's just kind of how I am.
Has Coach been okay with that?
Yeah, I think for the most part the team needed somebody to kind of as an emotional leader. But I mean, with that, I also need to do a little bit better job of keeping some of that inside, not having all of it come out.
last week you were saying this team's desperate for leaders. I know it's only been a week, but did you see anyone or even yourself kind of reaching that for the team?
I thought Elliot Bosch did a great job. He's doing a great job of leading that offensive line. I thought Travis Long has, always been a pretty good leader on the defensive side. I thought Daniel Buchanan stepped up in that area. He played great last week. So I think that those are three great guys that helped the team out a lot last week.
Any questions on the line?
Yeah, I have a question for Connor.
Go ahead.
Connor, this is Boyd Stahl with that. Hey, obviously you and Jeff Toole have always had a little collaboration society going, but he comes in and does a great job, not even warming up Saturday. Do you expect him to be able to legitimately challenge to start this Saturday?
I'm not too sure. I mean, we'll see what Coach Leach has us do at practice tomorrow. I haven't heard anything about that.
Any further questions for, go ahead, bud.
Here, Seattle Times, you may have already kind of touched on this, but if there's an area where you would like to take a step forward in your own development right now, what would that be?
Coming off my first read, going through a 1 through 4 progression and getting to if all three guys are covered, not trying to throw somebody open and get to, maybe my back in the flat or the back running an option route or whatever that needs to be. Just, I'd say that's what I need to work on for the most part.
When you say throw somebody open, you mean get it in the area and hope they make a play, essentially, or?
I mean that they're covered when I throw the ball, and I throw the ball to a spot to make them open.
Is your arm strength kind of a gift and a curse in that respect? You've got a cannon for an arm and pretty high confidence in it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a gift, but I think sometimes when we're kind of stalling on offense, I probably force the ball in there a little too much, trying to make too much happen and not let the game come to me, and that's something I kind of dealt with in high school too when I was younger in high school and growing up. And that, so I think it just comes with more game reps and getting more comfortable in the game and kind of trusting everything that goes along with that.
Further questions on the line?
Yeah, I got one more. Connor, the running game struggled Saturday night and did early in the year, I guess against BYU in particular. Now, how important is that to kind of balancing this thing out?
Yeah, that's real important. But I mean, we kind of went into the game knowing that it'd be tough to run the ball against Oregon. They do a very good job up front, and it's really tough because they only have 5 guys in the box, and it's still tough to run the ball against them. So it makes it tough to throw the ball as well. I mean, that's just a pretty darn good defense all the way around. But establishing a running game is probably the biggest part of our offense that needs to step up for next week.
Anything further for Connor?
Connor, it seems like you guys you have a number of wide receivers. How does that affect you as a quarterback, having that many different targets on the field?
I think it's a great thing to have fresh legs all the time. I think we've kind of shuffled some people around in different positions, so that's been a little tough to get chemistry-wise in different positions that they're playing. But I think that'll all come with more practice reps, and but for the most part, it's definitely a blessing to have fresh legs out there all the time.
All right,
One
anything?
question?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, Connor, you guys are going to face a team this weekend that has really shown well on defense this year against their opponents so far. Is it going to be very challenging for you guys, and what are you going to have to do to beat them?
I think anytime you're playing a Pac-12 conference game, you're going to be facing a good defense. But Oregon State's real physical. I mean, we're going to have to step up front to pick up all their pressures, and our receivers are also going to have to step up and they're blocking downfield and in the running game. I mean, they're a real physical team, and if you don't come to play, they're gonna embarrass you, so we need to be ready to go Saturday.